Welcome to the video, guys. We've had some disturbing updates in relation to migrant crossings and our ability to get rid of them. As most of you are aware, there has been a massive surge in the amount of people trying to cross from France into the UK. And some more of you might be aware of the fact the Supreme Court passed a judgment recently that has made it extremely difficult for the government to deport foreign criminals who might be receiving treatment in the UK. Now, the migrant crossings is reported here by the BBC with the headline 227 people intercepted amid lockdown spike. At least 227 migrants have been intercepted in 2 days as they tried to cross the English Channel to reach the UK. It was actually 304, but 77 of them were actually captured by the French authorities and returned to France. 8 boats carrying 145 people were stopped on Friday, the Home Office confirmed. A record for a single day. And we have to remember here, 227 is almost half the amount that came in for the entirety of April. So that is a massive surge considering this is just over the course of 2 days, though it's more likely over the course of 24 hours. A further 82 were intercepted on Saturday. Those picked up by Border Force officials said they were Iranian, Iraqi, Kuwaiti, Syrian and Afghan nationals. Exactly the same nationalities as the people who were on the last boats that I covered on the channel, and clearly people who have gone through multiple safe countries to get to the UK, therefore have no claim to refugee status, so should have been returned straight to France there and then. Friday's total included 51 people packed on board a single inflatable boat, the Home Office said. And here we see it says, a Home Office spokesman said French authorities had prevented 44 people from crossing. It's actually 77, as we'll see in the Kent Online article in a second. On Sunday and Monday, more than 130 suspected migrants were stopped as they attempted to reach the UK from France. So that's last week there. Home Secretary Priti Patel has acknowledged that a recent increase in the number of migrant boats making the dangerous crossing is linked to the coronavirus lockdown. Since lockdown was announced in Britain on the 23rd of March, at least 609 migrants have been intercepted by UK authorities and brought ashore. Yeah, how many more of them have made it ashore? I'm betting 1,000, possibly into the thousands. And we don't care about the Care for Calais group trying to defend these migrants coming over here. At the end of the day, they should have stayed where they was if that camp is so terrible. But here we have obviously Kent Online stating the real number. French authorities have prevented a total of 77 migrants from crossing over in 2 days, bringing the total number of people to 304. And here are the times: 4 AM, 4:30 AM, 4:30 AM, 5:30 AM, 6 AM and 1 PM. And then we got Friday all through the AMs. And yeah, all through the AM, literally. But you get the point. Now, this report has come out today. Foreign killers may be spared deportation if they would get worse care in their homeland than under the NHS. So, kind of related to that story we was just looking at there, in the sense that if any of these migrants coming over here needed medical care, we wouldn't be able to boot them out because the NHS is likely to be a better healthcare system than the one in their country. This, of course, has come from the Supreme Court. You know, the ones who went against all precedent and took part in a political decision by declaring the prorogation illegal last year, which in the end didn't really matter, but delayed Brexit for that little bit longer. Foreign killers may be spared deportation if they would get worse care in their homeland than under the NHS, as landmark ruling risks throwing government policy into chaos. Criminals who prove low-quality care in home countries could stay in the UK. The UK has been able to deport criminals receiving medical care since 2005. Britain may be prevented from deporting dangerous foreign criminals if the healthcare system in their homeland is not as good as the NHS. A bombshell ruling from the Supreme Court means killers, rapists and drug dealers may be able to exploit controversial human rights laws to stay in the UK if they can argue they would be denied top quality care if they were sent home. Can you actually believe this shit? The Supreme Court and Lady Hale are at it again. The landmark judgment, which risks throwing the government deportation policy into chaos, has already delayed the case of this gang rapist scumbag whose deportation to Somalia in 2018 was blocked by a mutiny among plane passengers at Heathrow. Which is fucking incredible. They should have all been tasered, chained up, and then sent back. If I started causing ructions on a plane, they'd soon taser me and chain me up, that is for sure. Since a 2005 House of Lords ruling, the Home Office has been able to deport foreign criminals who are receiving medical care in Britain as long as they are not at imminent risk of dying from their illness. Which seems like a semi-sensible move, I suppose. However, Supreme Court judges, including the controversial cunt Baroness Hale, have now adopted a lower threshold as laid down by the European Court of Human Rights in 2016. Criminals now only have to prove they would experience intense suffering or a significant reduction in life expectancy if sent home. The ruling came in the case of a 33-year-old Zimbabwean father of one who arrived in the UK in 2000 and was later granted indefinite leave to remain. But he went on to be convicted of a string of offences in a 2-year period, including battery, assault, receiving stolen goods, and possession of a sharp blade in public, which I think you would agree is a rap sheet and a half. His deportation was ordered in November 2006, but he was not removed, imagine my shock, and in May 2009 was convicted of possession of a firearm and heroin with intent to supply, which to be honest doesn't really surprise me in the slightest. He was sentenced to 7 years in jail. 11 years on, he is still trying to block his deportation under the European Convention on Human Rights, which guarantees that no one shall be subjected to torture or to inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment, which I'm sure no one has got a problem with, but that shouldn't mean we have to fund his healthcare and keep him in the UK, considering all of the crimes that he has committed. He claimed that as an HIV sufferer, deportation would deny him access to life-saving treatment, as the antiviral medication is not available in Zimbabwe. The 5 Supreme Court justices ruled in his favour. Of course they did. It seems anything to go against what the government wants. Last night, critics called for the ruling to be overturned, as should the public. Conservative MP Peter Bone said, if this isn't reversed by legislation, then it will be used to keep more foreign criminals in this country, and that's not right. We might have to start up a petition to get this overturned. What do you guys think? The ruling has caused alarm at the Home Office, which deported more than 5,200 foreign criminals last year, but is grappling with soaring numbers successfully avoiding being returned on human rights ground, up from 60 in 2011 to 172 last year. Then start changing these human right laws. You have got an 80-seat majority. What are you actually waiting for? We don't care about this arsehole's legal challenge. It shouldn't even be an option. Another Strasbourg case may make it harder for the Home Office to kick out foreign criminals. Lawyers for a paranoid schizophrenic fighting deportation from Denmark to Turkey argue that, although his drugs would still be available for free, he may not get other elements of his treatment package. The UK government is so worried about any precedent that it has made a submission to the court. Last night, a Home Office spokesman said, "We are considering the ruling carefully before taking next steps." And obviously, there's Lady Hale, no one cares about her, and the rest of them. It's got to be said, I find it unbelievable that these shitweasels have the ability to do things like this and keep people in the country who clearly don't deserve to be here and have committed some fairly heinous crimes. Like I said, we might have to start a petition to get the government to overturn this and perhaps even abolish the Supreme Court completely. Let's be honest, it was created by Tony Blair. I don't see why it is even still there. Can anyone answer me that question? But with more and more migrants coming in, situations like this are just going to become the norm, and if the Supreme Court are pulling stunts like this, the government are going to have no hope if they don't change the laws, and drastically. Plus, like I just said a moment ago, get rid of the Supreme Court and put Lady Hale out on her arse. I think everyone will be happy with that. Now before I go, I've started doing live streams and uploading gaming content on my second channel. If you would like to come and join me for a live stream to chat in real time, have an interest in gaming related content on YouTube, or just want to follow me over there because you are a legend, the link will be down in the video description below and as a pinned comment. I hope to see you all there. Now as always, before I go, I want to thank our PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar and YouTube members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.